Okay, so I'm sorry if you don't like hearing about egotistical games journalism, because for the next 6 minutes, 40 seconds, it's going to be an egotistical games journalist talk. It happens that I've been a games journalist now for 20 years, so that was my Pecha Kucha sorted out. 1999, I became a games journalist. I started work at Edge magazine. Don't know if you know Edge magazine. It's probably the pinnacle of games journalism. It was a fascinating time. What happened, I left after a year and started a very well-known magazine called Mr. Dreamcast. Hands up if you've heard of Mr. Dreamcast. One there. Mr. Dreamcast lasted all of 3 issues. This is me doing the Choo-Choo rocket launch. Great times. Dreamcast was a much underrated console, and Choo-Choo rocket launched the first one of the first console-enabled games on the internet. By 2001, I didn't have a job, so I sat outside pubs wearing funny hats. But what was interesting, so mainly in my life as a game journalist for 20 years, I've been freelance. And very quickly, you realize you have to be good at certain things in game journalism if you want to be a freelance games journalist. You have to be independent, so I thought I was going to make a Brexit quip here, but this was not actually Brexit. This is 2002. This is the Queen's Golden Jubilee. So that's the photo there. And once you've been a freelance game journalist for a long period of time, or a few years, you realise you have to be good at writing stuff, you have to be good at hitting deadlines, and you have to be good at wearing sunglasses. So the thing that I started to do after being a freelance journalist for a while is started to travel, and that's become a really important thing, and I think throughout my career it's been important. As a game journalist, you have to go meet people. So this is me actually at E3. I think Joao took this photo, bizarrely enough. We'll come on to Joao later on. And I started to go to GDC and E3. And the funny thing is about the games industry is you meet people, and once you've met them once, you kind of you never leave the industry, and you still kind of bump into them. In 2004, very important year, I found a blonde hair dye, which has obviously been one of my signatures, and it is kind of important that people recognise you and remember you. In 2005, I didn't take any photos of myself, so I have a drawing. By 2005, I had been a freelance game journalist for a long period of time. I was actually kind of the pinnacle of my freelance career. I was actually writing for the FT at that point, and I had really focused on business and financial journalism about games, and that's really, I think, where my kind of passion lies. We'll come on to that later. 2016, oh, that's gone a bit odd, isn't it? 2006, I joined a prog rock band. I didn't actually. This is some people in the room might recognise themselves. This is the founding partners of Steel Media. Came on to Pocket Gamer, and as a business journalist, it became very interesting for me to actually become part of a business. I'd written about businesses quite blasely for a long period of time. Run out of photos in 2007 as well. I used to play hockey, so there's an action shot. But being a journalist and running a company was quite eye-opening. I'm sure as anyone who runs a business knows, it gets quite scary. At certain points, you have to understand cash flow. You have to understand how to manage employees. And Pocket Gamer, it bubbled along for a few years. 2008 was an interesting year in many regards. This is me in Finland, because the big thing that was happening then was Nokia was relaunching N-Gage. Anyone remember N-Gage? Something else quite big happened in 2008, and it wasn't the credit crunch, but for mobile games, the App Store happened. And I have to say, you would kind of think I would have been all over the App Store. I didn't get it at all. Partly because I was too busy running a company. So this is us in 2009, a slightly better photo. A boy band, I have to say there, rather white boy band there. So some of the members in this group have actually gone on to bigger and better things. So you might see Mike Rose, a very young Mike Rose in the back row there, now a top indie developer. By 2010, though, the App Store had taken off, and mobile games was a big thing, and Pocket Gamer was in its heyday. This is me in Barcelona, Mobile World Congress, talking to Gameville. And the weird thing that happened that I didn't know was going to happen, when I found a passion for free-to-play mobile games. Big hand for free-to-play mobile games in the audience? No, you all still hate them, don't you? You really do. But I found I really love free-to-play mobile games, and I'm pretty much the only games journalist I've ever met who really loves free-to-play mobile games. This guy here, anyone know who that is? Mills. So this is Mills from Us Too. He hates free-to-play mobile games. That's why he made Monument Valley, or his company made Monument Valley. But this goes back to when you meet people in the industry, it's a very small industry. You kind of stay around, and it's good to go out and meet people. This is me in Iceland. Anyone know, not Chris, anyone know who the big man in the middle is? Yes. Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott, 148 Apps. So at this point, this was, say, the heyday of mobile games. It was great. There was lots of things going on in the industry. You could travel around the world, be paid to travel around the world, go to Iceland and drink beer with Paradox Entertainment. But as a journalist by this stage, I was still writing, although not so much as I had been, I guess. By 2013, I really started to think about what is games journalism. And I started to realize it's kind of the knowledge, and you're putting it out there, but it doesn't have to be written. So this is me at the Apple App Store in London with, I don't know if, is Jamie here? Jamie's somewhere in the conference. There's Jamie. So that was the launch of Angry Birds Go. And this is me, I think, in Lithuania. But I started to do a lot more presentations, which is kind of why I do Pecha Kuchas. Not because I think I'm good at them, but because I think I need to get better at presenting. And got a better T-shirt there, got the NASA T-shirt, so that's good. And that's kind of something now that I kind of realised, oh, here's another photo. Anyone recognise anyone here? Is it famous authors? So all these guys, we all worked at Edge magazine roughly the same time. On the far left, Casper Field, who's now a game developer. Owen Benlack in the middle. Enigmatic as ever, he's a journalist, but a financial journalist. And then Keith Stewart, who was the editor, game editor at Guardian for a long period of time, but now he's a proper journalist, a proper book author, I should say. And I'm the only one who's still a games journalist. Of course, in life, other things happen as well. So I had some children. Here's 2 of them. That obviously slows you down a little bit and makes you think about what you want to do. And then at this period of time, I started having kids, and the business had been going for a long period of time. And I started to think, am I really still a games journalist? And I took some time to kind of ponder. So 2017, I actually took some time out, didn't do anything at all, which is a very good thing to do after 10 years or so of being in a certain job. I would recommend it. And I really thought about what I wanted to do, and I decided I did want to be a games journalist. And I started doing a lot of detailed articles about financials and kind of data and mobile user data and that kind of stuff. And then in 2018, at Pocket Gamer Connects, I found blockchain, and that has really resurrected my passion. I found of all the things I liked, games and psychology and business and financials, they were all encapsulated in blockchain. So now I am, as Wilhelm so nicely puts, Mr. Blockchain, and I hope to have another 20 years of writing about mobile games. Blockchain games.